If you've made it this far into Abyss 119, the last two floors are trivially easy. There is nothing here that is much more difficult than anything you've already fought. I would say at this point that 111, 115, and 120 are the hardest floors. Originally, I had wanted to stream my clear for Abyss 119 and 120, but life gets in the way, and I only had a short bit of time on Sunday morning, so I figured since they gave us a free unequip, I would just quickly power through 119 and 120. Was able to get 119 done in 2 tries. This is actually the second run that you will see here, where I switched to Seaside Bologna. Originally, I had tried to do it with Spectre because I had heard Spectre was a pretty easy option for this, but we decided to go with SSB. Again, due to talking to my friend Chad, my guildmate Chad, who had already beaten both of these floors, so he had I had advanced knowledge and some help on what to do on these floors. So the reason we are playing Tamarinne, besides the fact that she's a Abyss All-Star, and Amelia, is because when we get to the second floor with Kowerik, there are basically 2 major mechanics we have to worry about. The first of which is we need to get rid of souls. We need characters that can spend souls rather quickly, and both these soul weavers can spend souls relatively easy pretty much all the time because they are either on a short ability cooldown, or in Tamarinne's case it is tied to the S1. So if I need to dump souls, these 2 are really good. The second reason is there are enemies on the second floor of this stage that require you to use quite a number of non-attack skills in order to deal damage. So they take almost no damage from actual attacks. It is mostly from trying to use non-attack skills. Obviously, Tamarinne gets 2 procs of this when she goes idle mode into S2, which is really nice. And then Amelia with Magaraha's Tome cycles incredibly quickly, so she can get 3 down as well. If you do not have Amelia, you can play Angelic Montmorency or a DN on whatever artifact you want to supplement it. Just as long as you have 2 soul weavers that can use non-attack skills, you're fine. Raz is the tank here, much for the same reason why we were talking about being able to dump souls. He just gives us damage, a defense break, a defense buff, and again a really easy outlet to burn souls. If Kowerik ever uses his S3, or he goes to, I believe, 70 or 40% on the second phase, and you have 20 or more souls, you're going to wipe. So it's really important that you just burn souls whenever you have them, even if it is inefficient, because you just don't want to have too many souls. This first floor is also a joke if you have SSB, because they have so many AoEs here that you'll just cleave through. That's why we went with Seaside Bologna. She makes the first floor trivially easy, and there are a bunch of sections where Kowerik is invincible, and you have to deal with the ads that he summons, and since those ads do a lot of AoEs, you will get in turn a ton of S2 procs off SSB, which means some defense breaks, which means you can clear through it very quickly. So rather than needing to waste time picking them off one by one with other damage dealers, Seaside Bologna basically just cleaves them for free, and you'll see that in certain sections of the second part where essentially we just don't have anything to do, and Kowerik is just invincible, and we're just waiting for his turn to come around. And at that point, we can set up any number of debuffs. We can try and give him focus, try and give him defense break, and any number of things. We basically have just tons of time to set up so that way when he comes out of invincibility, we can just reduce him to dust. And again, just taking our time, just going all face all the time here. But yeah, that basically what I described to you, that is the general strategy of the fight. The only difficult part, I think, of this entire fight is the very, very end, because Kowerik does get really fast when he's under 40% health. And then you see how we're just going to dump the souls here. You just don't want to save anything. Especially when you have a character like Amelia or like somebody like Diane. They're kind of like battery characters. They generate just so many souls over time. But again, we need all those non-attack skills, so can't help it. Boost Raz up so that he can just dump his souls again. And now we move on. We're going to S3 here at the start simply because we know we're going to be taking quite a number of AoE attacks from those mages in the back. There's those defense breaks I was talking about with the S2. AoE. Oh, these 2 hits here. You're getting 2 each time. So this is going to give us another SSB proc, and their defense broken, so you'll see they'll take quite a bit of damage because we are just on a straight DPS side. Again, make sure you have to burn your souls whenever you can. Just have to keep the cycle going with Amelia. They're just trying to decide which one to boost up here. I'd rather have SSB, considering she's slow, have the attack buff. Especially with how many attacks you can see that are coming out from these guys. If you were playing another damage there, you'd have to be waiting, because you'd probably be playing like a 120, 130 speed DPS anyway. Rouse is taking quite a lot of punishment. So when you kill, now he does an AoE. And then this guy does an AoE as well. And now Kowerik S1s, and then this just picks it all. So you see, like, our seaside really only took like 1 turn, and we got only really like 1 chance to Roz, and we used it to go face because we're SSB. If we were on another damage dealer, like I said, like a Spectre, Tenebria, or whatever have you, we wouldn't be getting anywhere near this many attacks off on them. And that means that we can basically spend most of our actual turns just going face. Remember to dump souls. We see we're getting dangerously close to having 20. That's always really bad when you're getting close to having 20. It's always really important to keep an eye on when is Kowerik going to use his S3. Boost SSB. He will automatically use his S3 at 70%. So you can see it just goes right into it. It wasn't even his turn. And now since he AoEs with his ulti, you get another attack. Granted, these ones right here only take real damage when you use a non-attack skill. You can see I use a non-attack skill here, and it causes damage. Don't have up on Tamarinne. Basically, your Soul Weavers are the damage dealers for this portion. You see SSB does 99 here. Defense buff is just because there's not really any other better play, so you might as well reduce any incoming damage. S2, even though we don't need it because it's a non-attack skill. And now Amelia's next action should kill. Boost Tamarinne again. That gets 1 kill. Idle mode, that's another non-attack skill. And then S2 on idle mode will kill all them off. And now you can just set up. You just want to dump souls because remember, he still keeps his ulti from previously. He just doesn't move. So we dumped all our souls, so we just took no damage. And again, because it's an AoE, since we're back to the first wave enemies, starting them off with some damage on them is really nice. We save the S3 here for the same reason. Just go face, because why not at this point? They'll end up killing themselves anyway, so we don't really care. Just makes the fight just overall just feel a lot faster and a lot simpler, because you only really need to focus Kowerik, unless he's stealth like he is here. Yep, so the next one will kill off the other one. And since that died, that is going to trigger both of these guys using an AoE attack, which will then trigger yet another SSB S2. And that will kill that one. And that triggers yet another AoE. And now Kowerik's next turn will kill the other one. It's like playing RTA, honestly. Since I couldn't defense break there, I'd rather just get the CR push. Just deciding what to push there. The immunity makes it rough, because like we really wanted to defense break him there, but we can't. So now he's at 45, and another 5% he will ulti again. So really important to keep an eye on those souls. We're going to be at 15 right here. This is 16. 17 because of the dual attack. So now I have to dump, whether I want to or not. Just checking to see how close idle is. They should just push him, I believe. Nah, it wasn't quite enough. So dump, so that way we don't have to worry about it. Alright, so now he's at 40. So now this is the hardest part of the fight, because he moves super fast at this point. As long as you're able to dump your souls as soon as possible, you'll probably be fine. We're back to the non-attack skill, by the way. So you're going to just use the non-attack skills to get through this phase like before. But after these three go away here, you'll notice Kowerik starts moving very, very, very quickly. See, this time we have idle up. You'll see they start to go down real quick. Yep, and there you go. These all pop. Now you set up defense break, because again, he's going to start schmoovin' here. So you want to make sure that you have all your debuffs up and you've dumped all your souls. Again, since we're on SSB, I believe we don't actually have to pay attention and focus to these ads. We'll let them kill themselves, unless, of course, we are stealthed. Just checking to make sure, what am I going for here? I have S3, so I'm just using that to get him out of stealth, so that Roz can dump on him. So that gives us a free bat back and more defense breaks. Roz dies, but at this point it doesn't super matter. Just go face. Because the second this hits, she's gonna go here, bat back, kill them all, boost SSB to the front. Heal up. You'll see, like, he's already just took his turn, and he's already ahead of Tamarinne on the CR bar. Like I said, he is schmoving at this point. Defense breaks rough, but again, not that big of a deal. Heal up SSB. Soul burn because we have to dump our souls. So now we win after next bat back or next SSB attack. So we win on 3 attacks, 1 attack. And SSB should just killing up here. And proc, see? That's why we use SSB, just super, super good here. If you don't have her, then there's other options. You can probably just, like I said, we can play Spectre. You can play probably any decent, I feel like, damage dealer works in that slot. It just is going to be a bit more work. Alright, so let's look at what we have. Rise of the Monarch, again. 235 speed, as long as you're over 85 effectiveness, have okay bulk, it doesn't really matter. Standard Tamarinne, just Potion Vial. Again, gotta have the effectiveness up there though. Over 85. Amelia, this is still my standard Amelia for PvP. Still a little slow for an Amelia, but it is what it is. And lastly is SSB, who is on my rage set that I use for Banshee normally. And I'm on Drink, you can use whatever you want. And that's it.